Big talk for Anthony Smith, right? Anytime a fight's on, what's next? We can never just give a guy his moment, pat him on the back, tell him to enjoy the win. We have to know what's next. All right. I'm no different. I will tell you, it's not totally simple, though, for Anthony. Like, here's an example. What should be next for Anthony Smith? World's most easy solution. Easiest answer ever, right, guy? Luke Rockhold. These guys can't get it right. I don't actually even know where this came from or how these two started button heads, but they did. And they don't seem to be any other way they can work it out than to go out there, shut the door, and get it on. However, as much as I do think it is very clear and that you guys would agree with me that the answer for what's next for Anthony is really simple, Luke Rockhold, for sure. I don't know that answer is true for Luke Rockhold. Anthony Smith, for sure, a top 3 option for Luke. Best option, for sure. But the division right now is very light on names. It's not light on talent. It's steep in talent. Reyes comes to mind. This Ratchet kid comes to mind. It's the guy that's always dancing and smiling as it marks comes to mind. But they are light on names. It's just a reality. John Jones went through most of the top guys who people were familiar with. That's a reality. Which paints you, I mean, first off, Luke's got a fight coming up. So give Luke just a second. We can't book him against Anthony just yet. And secondly, based on that performance and that outcome, Luke Rockhold is a very likely, very, very possible contender to go on and fight with John Jones. He checks a lot of the boxes. Is he skilled? Yep. Couple of time title challenger, down a weight class. He moves up a weight class. He gets a new fresh coat of paint, which essentially means he's completely undefeated. And that's just a fight that people are going to want to see. That's two marquee names. That's a great fight. If he doesn't have that kind of result or that kind of a performance, or somebody else steps in that's an unforeseen that we've yet to identify, where's Luke go? I think Luke versus Anthony works any which way you want to do it. Luke goes out and win, lose, or draw. I think the fight with Anthony still works. But on the right performance and with some of the other circumstances that need to be considered when they all come to play, it may not draw him into Anthony. And Luke does have his hand full in his defense. He needs to think about that. But I think that Luke is the first option for Anthony. I think Anthony being on the top 3 list for Luke, that's pretty good. That's pretty good. And I think sooner or later, it is very likely we're going to get those guys together.